Oh my god! We're here! 2 years later. No, for real though, it's been 2 years since chapter 3. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it has. Wow, it doesn't feel like 2 years, but it has. It's been 2 years. Because I was like, no, when chapter 3 dropped, we played through this, Sean Chiplock did like a stream of it or whatever. Sean hasn't been on Twitch that long. Yeah, he has been on that long. Longer than that. Anyways, it's here. I'm excited. Guys, chapter 4. It's good. It's good. And I'm very excited because, like, yes, I voice one of the main antagonists, Eka, in this, but even though I'm familiar enough with the script, I've not heard anyone else's performances, and I've not seen any of the visuals, and I have no idea how it's gonna play out, and I'm so excited. So yes, hi, hello, Sotembori, and sun and showers, and yes, thank you for the big drink, and also, one day I'll experience the Hayseed Kemi. Yes, please do, and please share it with your friends. Just because, like, you know, this is made by one person. One person did all the writing, art, programming. Maxi's primarily, like, their primary profession is a vocal director. They did direction for other games, like sort of the Necromancer and stuff like that. So they did all the voice direction, which is why, you know, why the voice acting in general in this entire game is like super good. Because it's such a small developer, there's not a lot of press and, you know, like exposure and like, you know, so, you know, share it around, support small creators, tell your friends and all that stuff. And also I'm going to give away a copy at the end of this stream, just so you know, so. Okay, so it's been 2 years. I wonder if I should summarize quickly what's been going on. I mean, this game has so much lore. This world has so much lore. But the last chapter did end on a cliffhanger, so like, I can give the broadest summary of all time. Hang on, let me see. Let me see how quickly I can just condense all of this into one little package. So, this is a story that's being told in present day about past events. You're like a little gremlin child named Lynn, and you come across this mysterious hooded figure. That's the person here on the title screen. And they're telling the gremlin child Lynn about her ancestors, which is like the story of a like little backwater farmer deer named Ader THAT who wanted to become a knight. And then we go back and we meet Ader THAT, and he is like the biggest himbo of all fucking time and not anything like a knight. Shit, I don't know how there's so much that happens. But essentially there's like a lot of class division, between deers and gazelles. You meet a very sexy gazelle lady named Sep, who is cursed. If she's away from people for too long, they forget who she is. They forget everything about her. And they have a little romance, and it's really sweet. And a whole bunch of shit happens that I won't get into. But the last chapter ended basically with you being on trial for basically beating the shit out of somebody who was like upper class. He was in a very important family, and you beat the shit out of him. So they put you on trial, and it was a huge fiasco. It was like, I've seen Ace Attorney trials that were more mild than that. And just before you're like, you and Sep get in huge trouble, you basically bust out and run away. And then you run into a mysterious figure who knocks you out and kidnaps you, and that's where it ends. Who could this mysterious figure be? I wonder. I didn't even mention Aina. Oh no. Ader works for a blacksmith named Aina, and She's mute, and she's like this tiny little angry thing. I don't know how else to describe Aina than small and angry. And stupid strong. There, that was not coherent at all, but without getting in, I'd have to explain so much lore, but you should play it for yourself because it's really good. Also, the first chapter is free. There's a demo, so you can definitely check it out for yourself without paying anything if you want to first. And then you can buy it when you like it. Anyways, we were being kidnapped by this mysterious figure. This is where we were. Who could it be?
I'm your boss now.
Oh shit, who's that? Who could that be? It's me. I'm being coy. Anyways. This game, by the way, is fully voiced except for the narrator, so I'm going to be reading for the narrator. I empty my stream of consciousness down into the direst silence, barely able to keep a smirk away from my face at the thought of Lynn screaming at me for leaving her hanging on such a dramatic note for 2 years. Also, when I say Lynn is a gremlin, I mean like guys, she's a shipper. She makes ship names and everything. She's so invested in this story. I love Lynn. Lynn? No response. My theatrics must have hit deeper than I thought. It's all right, Lynn. It was just a memory. No one's coming for... Oh, she fell asleep. Hi, Cynthia. Like I said, I haven't seen any of the visuals for this chapter at all, so I'm so excited. When I turn around, Lynn isn't even looking at me anymore. Her face lies flat against the table. Lynn? She died! She's dead! I scared her to... Never mind. I slipped my staff back and let her snout fall softly on the table once more. In what looks like a slightly more comfortable position. Or at least one where she won't drool all over the pages and fly off the handle when she wakes up. Foolish kid. Falling asleep on the best part of the story. Seriously. In front of a stranger, no less. The world must have truly changed a lot since the days that I was convinced I too would rather be a normal person. I got the inside scoops. I know things about the narrator that I can't tell y'all. Or is this some sort of... ruminant compliment? Does it mean that you don't find me scary? That any half-assed attempts at basic decency I could have offered you were enough to allow yourself to rest easy around me? To annoy me with such forthright proof of inferred trust? Is that it? Are you actually capable of being cute sometimes, you bug-eyed imp? Aww, all the time. Lynn is adorable. Lynn lets out a little sleepy whistle breath noise in response. No, of course not. You're just another dumbass without a care in the world. A bona fide mortal that's gonna get me dragged into their tedious affairs. I guess this is my cue to leave, then. Then again, I can't possibly leave without getting mad at you for this. Yes, I should wait until you get some proper rest and then scold you for being a slacker. She's supposed to be chronicling this, by the way. We're not just telling her the story for no raisins. She's supposed to be writing it down and because the history has gotten skewed over time. Like, Adderson is remembered as this great knight, but that's really not how it happened. Like, I don't know how this is gonna end, but Adderson is not like this gallant, puissant, like, noble knight figure. He's a dumbass. I love him, but he's, you know, he's a hick farmer, like, big himbo deer. With a heart of gold. But the history books got it all wrong, so she's supposed to be writing the true history. How long did this sleep thing take again? Just a few hours having Lynn look straight into my soul, and I no longer feel at ease waiting with all these thoughts bouncing around inside my head, and no one to pull them out of my ears. This is why I hate mingling with mortals. I feel like decades have passed between tonight and this morning. No, it can't be. Was it really just this morning? After much rummaging around in my pockets, I finally grab a hold of my sketch pad. Oh. I felt moved to capture the shape of the hills in the distance as dawn broke, and sure enough, the ink still looks fresh. It was most certainly today. Oh yeah, Cynthia, if you weren't here for the last time I streamed this a few years ago, Ader is like the definition of himbo. I am back. I thought I would know Heirloom like a long-lost enmity. A relative that you don't want to run into. The loudest of them all. But that was far from the case. The streets were no different. But the paths now led elsewhere. The purveyors and their crowds remained ever shifting, screaming praises about all the items one could ever hope to need or want. Everything had changed, and everything stayed the same. Unaware, uncaring, blissfully unbothered by my presence. This is what it's like when you move away from your town, and then you come back and visit like 10 years later. It's like everything's familiar, but nothing's familiar. Everything, until...
You seem lost, traveler.
Oh, we're gonna get the meeting. I feel like this happened briefly in the very beginning of the first chapter, but I don't remember. It's been so long. I faltered in my step, having the strangest impression. A nostalgic feeling. Something that couldn't possibly exist. I felt like the fawn was addressing me.
Hey, you! I'm talking to you!
Though hope was a rare commodity in my heart, I still turned my face toward the little bluster, surely calling out to some other mark in the crowd.
Heed my words, Craven! Your silence and your hat shall not hide you from me, for I am the blood of old Sephi! Your thoughts stop being yours alone the moment we first locked eyes.
Right, and I should explain as I go along that Sephi are magicians, and they have the ability to kind of read into your soul through your eyes. It's called gaze reading. Which is something that apparently Ader can do, even though he's a deer and not a gazelle, and that's, like, not a thing, I think. I'm pretty sure it's unheard of for deer to be able to do that, but Ader just does. Grave mistake. What do you...
Yes! I see it crystal clear! What does this amazing young gazelle want from me, you ponder? Word for word. Totally not actually looking down at me at all, but no matter.
She's so cute.
What I want is of no consequence to me or to you.
I wish Maxie was here to like, correct me when I just spout inaccurate lore information, because it's pretty fresh in my brain, but also my brain is smooth and small. But he lives in Spain, and it's like 1 a.m. over there.
I can tell from your staff that you don't hail from these lands, and from your garb that you don't come from this age.
Excuse me.
An enigma has brought you to Heirloom, Orchid of the Steppes, and muddled your heart with fear. But deep down you know, you need not solve it alone.
Unfavorable stall positioning. Pitiful decoration. Boorish costuming. Terrible characterization. A child playing dress-up has somehow perceived me. Yeah, okay, I suppose you'll do. I'm looking for a deer. Rather, whatever's left of him. Does the name Ader THAT ring a bell for you?
Ring a bell, you say? Ring a bell, you say?
I like the, name tag. A bard, then?
Thank your luck, Pilgrim. You shan't take a step further than you have, for this whisper of a great soul is so ingrained in my mind that it may as well be my own. I have a tale to tell, if you have a coin to spare.
Can I just get directions to an archive or something instead?
That'll cost you two.
We sure are back in the capital. Oh, how's the volume, by the way? Let me know if anything is unbalanced. It looks okay in OBS, but I'm not sure. Fine. This had better be good.
There's no finer story in all of Dakna. For if in heirloom you hear rumors of a knight, there is but one name that should ever come to mind. The Knight of the Upper Field, the hero that fought the odds and went from humble beginnings to the Star of Stars.
Dumb is a word that I would use.
The Beast Slayer, the swordless knight that changed the fate of the kingdom for the rest of eternity, bringing peace to mortal kind and uniting the ruminants under one flag. Where didst thou cometh from? Where didst thou wend? If thou hearest mine own tale truly, then leaf, thou shouldst know it.
He did not sound like that.
What?
Ader was a farmer. He didn't know half the words you said.
I knew that. I was just taking artistic licenses.
Your eye patch is on the wrong side of your artistic license.
No way! Everyone knows the knight was missing his right eye.
This is an Avatar reference. It has to be. I'm pretty sure I asked Maxie once, but I don't remember, but everyone is wrong then.
Oh, so you're the only person in the world that knows the last thing about him. Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much, basically.
Why?
I knew him.
You're kidding, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Bye.
Wait, what? Wait. What kind of reaction is that? You really knew him?
Nope. Farewell. I really should have run away right then. Wouldn't have to deal with this nonsense if I had done so. Oh, cute. This is cute. This is taking much too long. Fuck sleep, get up. Tired of reminiscing, I peer over Lynn's side of the table. It's only now that I notice a page peeking out rather conspicuously under her nose. Oh my god, is she drawing fan art? No way! Is she drawing, like, slash art of Ader and Gyoff? I know she ships them. Are those doodles? So, kids these days still like drawing, huh? Though, from the way she's holding on to them even in her sleep, it's clear she'd rather eat them than let me have a look. I mean, I can see a bit from here. That looks like Aina, I think. It's very pointy and angry looking. Maybe that one is next to it's supposed to be Sep? I grab my staff and take a few tentative steps around the little miscreant, careful not to wake her up. She spent the last eternity looming over a private tower of sheets, wet ink and an empty bowl of candied almonds that she bummed off of me. Yes, indeed. It is I who provided the tools of the trade and ensured the continuation of her existence so she could focus on writing. I deserve to know what kind of content I'm enabling.
Oh, don't need the soup. It's made out of soup. Oh.
Undeterred, I stretch my arm toward the page she's been working on once more, trying to drag the page away from her grasp. It's almost mine. Just a little more.
I'm awake!
Ah, damn it. So you are. Now help me up, will you?
Promise you won't rip my guts out for falling asleep?
No. Lynn crouches down next to me to purportedly hand me back my staff, casually shoving the sketched page behind her. Don't eat that soup. I was thinking of Steven Universe, the don't give him the banana, that's what he wants. But I was like, nah, that reference is obscure, no one will get that. And then I said it, and that's my story, the end.
I'm so sorry, I don't know what happened.
The obvious problem seems to be that you stopped writing a while ago.
What? No, of course I was writing everything down. I mean, I was trying to. It's not like I didn't want to write, but I've got this thing when I eat lots of sweets at once, and everything goes wobbly and it's
Oh no. Your blood sugar. I know exactly what this is like. Goodness sake, Lynn. If you're not feeling well, you should just say that.
No, I swear, I can handle this. We're doing something important here for the honor of my family and stuff.
Your family. That's right. There are people waiting for you. Look at me, preaching about past mistakes when the present is staring me right in the eye. I can't believe I forgot something so basic. Let's just leave the story here, Lynn. Your parents must be worried sick about you.
No! Look, I'm awake. So awake. I don't have a curfew or anything like that. Just get me some coffee and I'll keep writing all night.
How old are you? No, I have things to do when the sun's out, and I don't plan to add taught a kid that crunch is any good for development to the list of crimes I've committed today. Damn Skippy. Crunch is not good for development. Remember. Remember that. Come on, little rebel. I'll walk you home. Peachy! How's it going?
I can't.
Uh-oh. Oh, is Lynn... I don't actually know... I know some things about other characters that is not public information, and I will not divulge it, but I don't know much about Lynn. Is she an orphan? You can't? I know she's descended from... at least from Sep, but I don't know how many years later this is, or I don't remember how many years later this is. So maybe her parents are dead.
I've been thinking a lot about it, and I can't decide if I like Ader or Gilbar better. Ader has that morbid, age gap, forbidden love-ish kind of a...
No.
Gilbar has so much chemistry that I believe it could actually happen, you know?
Yeah, the second one.
I also think that Isif has a lot of potential.
Oh, no. Why are you indulging her? Isif. Oh, you mean Sepena. No. We know from the last chapter that Aina has known Sep since Sep was like a small child. That's weird. You can use April on Twitch. Okay, I wasn't sure if I could call you by your like name or if it was like strictly handled. You know, sometimes people are weird about that. Hi, April. I have been all right. I recently went through some health issues that I'm still kind of struggling with a little bit, but I am getting better. And it's not like the big C or anything like that, thankfully. But I'm just now starting to feel better and stuff. And I'm super excited about. I've been like riding on a high all day because it's like, yes, I obsess about stuff that I voice in. Sure, yes, I love this game because I voice a character in it. Yes, but also even if I didn't, you guys don't understand how much I love worlds like this that have like so much lore. Like there's a whole encyclopedia down here that explains stuff that is not like clearly addressed in the main dialogue. Like there's a bunch of different like words and like a in-world language. There's like religion. There are wars. I eat that shit for breakfast. Like A Song of Ice and Fire is like my favorite series of all time, and then Lord of the Rings is kind of like behind that. So like I eat this shit up. I'm obsessed with this series. I'm so excited to play this chapter. I still need to read that book, A Song of Ice and Fire. It's like 5 books, plus the novellas, plus the world books, plus it's not even finished. There are allegedly 2 more books coming out in the series. I think it's going to be 3 because George keeps making too much and then splitting one book into 2 books. So that's a thing. Oh shit, it's Daniel. What's up, fucker? Look at this gremlin. Look at her. She's literally shipping characters. I don't think I have a ship in this series, actually. Well, Sep and Ader is really cute. I don't know.
Basic, but I can't deny it has a great ring to it.
You're basic. Lynn doesn't reply. She merely sinks her head further into the desk as she scribbles something. Yo, what's up, Attack Slug? And Foxy Fries! I peeked at your Twitter and saw you retweeted something about Dokapon. Oh my... Yeah, it is coming to the Switch. Oh, I can't do it. Man, if we play Dokapon, I won't have friends. I mean, I already don't have that many friends. You guys want me to lose the few friends that I have? I cherish Daniel. Daniel's my best friend. We're gonna fight if we play Dokapon. I can't let it happen. I can't. I wait for the eventual comeback that I know she's meticulously composing in her mind, but it never comes. Instead...
Wait! Don't go! I'm not lying, see?
Ooh, we get more flashback from when they first met?
We can't stop here. I don't want to go until you finish the story.
Oh, this is throughout the last couple of chapters.
Nuh-uh! Don't go! Please! I'm going to read even faster. Stay a little longer.
She's avoiding. A different question begins to take shape inside my mind. Lynn, there's something you're not telling me. Are your parents dead? Are you like an orphan? Is that what's happening right now?
Gee, there are a lot of things I'd love to tell you that you don't want to hear. You'll have to be more specific.
About you. Lynn stares at me for a good long while. I've played Dokapon with Ari and Angie. Oh my god. It's one of the most insane gaming experiences I've ever had. I have played Dokapon twice, and they were both the most insane gaming experiences, and both of them were so drawn out because I refuse to ever, if I can hold on even when it's hopeless, I will drag that shit out and just make it agonizing. There were also some pretty insane upsets. Dokapon is nuts. Eventually, she returns to her doodles.
You don't want to know that either.
But I do. I do, Lynn. What would you know what I want, brat?
I knew you'd say that too, but it's still better than the alternative. Trust me, it's for your sake.
Nonsense. I know gazes don't work like that. You're just deciding what's best for me on your own. How are you supposed to know what I need when I don't have a clue about it?
I thought that was what the last chapter was all about. That we all need friends because you won't ever know yourself as well as you think you do.
Yeah, kinda, yeah. We're not... Take your eyes off my thoughts already and go do something better with your fleeting life.
So, you really don't want me to write anymore?
No! Let's just go back to writing. Yes, I tell you the story, you write. That's what we came here to do. Not waste time chit-chatting and lazing about pretending to be friends. Lynn puts a hand on the bridge of her nose. I am very nearly about to head for a bridge and swim to another town, myself.
Okay. Look, I don't know if I'm skilled enough to deal with... I don't think I even have a name for whatever this is. Let's just stop freaking out for a minute and talk about...
The tip of the staff is just sturdy enough to not split as it hits the ground. My scream is the wooden echo that bounces all over the library. Has anyone ever said Dokapon my balls? I don't know, but now they have. And I'm glad. You want to know the story of your ancestor? You write. That was the deal. There's nothing left in the room but silence. I know the way Lynn must be looking at me, even though my back is turned. I know the way I would be looking at myself, at least. I barely dare turn my snout towards her when I hear her stretching her arms over the pages.
Wow, that's so... Oh, that's so scary. All right, so what was it? Who dares hurt Aina? What are we fighting now? Did the Makadar find Ader at last? Was it the moneylenders with the knives and stuff?
Lynn, that was like word salad. No, not yet. We can't talk about that yet. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting. Someone I'm forgetting.
Someone with thumbs, horns, and an overly helpful disposition, apparently.
Yes, you're right. That's just the person we're missing.
The prophecy?
What prophecy?
My prophecy!
I just remembered this is going to split, I think, depending on certain choices I made in previous chapters, and I don't remember which paths I took in this save file. I have played this game more than once. So, about that Sepena content.
Let's just get this over with.
Right. Chapter 4. Everything you aren't, or the importance of faking the virtues that you lack. Nice. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm so excited. Sorry, I have some wine here, and I'm like, haven't even been able to touch it. Not that far away from the fateful encounter where we left off. That ridiculous Ace Attorney looking ass fucking trial. Missed perhaps by a matter of minutes. Linguistic skills and general irrelevance to her life. There walked a goat. Oh, it's the tiny lesbian goat! I love her! Or certainly attempted to. Though the bustling streets were yet to know her, ordinary as she looked, caked in red steppe dust and dressed like a mere caravan keeper, history would remember her in a completely different light.
Zhao! That's Zhao, right? I knew she was going to be important!
Okay, yeah, so this is the save file where I met Zhao. Well, yes, I wouldn't bother mentioning the name of anybody that wouldn't prove to be relevant later on.
That's not callous or anything.
Indeed, I'm glad you understand. The most remarkable thing about Zhao, though we didn't truly get to explore it the first time we met her, was, you see, that special feature that set her apart from everyone else was the fact that she was so short. She wasn't so much standing out as standing under. A petite ibex with horns so curled and large that the combination would have looked rather comical, had Servine society not been so obsessed with the way that it was with horn size. Yeah, they're all about that horn size. To the average deer, she would have surely seemed a rather formidable opponent. Seen from any other less distorted angle, however, the goat would have been a tiny girl in an infinite city, marching to the beat of her own drum. And her timing could not have been any worse.
Find them! Find those traitors! They can't have gone very far!
Hi, Albar.
Excuse me,
The size of this newcomer was so below the Akazorian average, in fact, that she was just about a whole head short of reaching the necks of most locals around her. Appropriately equipped only to address open collars and high belts.
Beasts! I saw them! It was a pack of beasts! Are you out of your goddamn mind?
You can...
Golems! It's an army of golems!
One can tell me how I arrived to the Temple of Hit.
Out of the way!
No, Zhao! She's so cute and tiny. Catching an elbow with her face as she traversed a panicked crowd ended up being, therefore, a matter of statistics. The goat lost her footing and plummeted backwards towards the ground. Instead of flagstones and a nasty new chip in her horns, the girl found herself falling on what felt like a prickly nest of some sort.
You're going to have to speak a little louder than that.
Illagrab!
Today, lassie.
I love Illagrab. Just gigantic tree man. Still stunned, she slowly dragged her eyes up from her pine needle cushion, soon meeting two golden eyes that sat like amber drops under a helmet. A comically tiny helmet. Her head stopped spinning long enough to finally spot the giant tree amongst the deer.
Besetted! That was besetted just now, right? No, that's not... I mean, I understood it. Your speech was perfect. A respectable sibling. I'm so sorry. I should know better than to question the wisdom of a child of 2.
Bezaktek is a language that her people speak that is not commonly spoken at all in this city.
You would be the first one, really.
Anyway, I'm so glad you're here. I couldn't even find my way past the market. This place is so different from home, and there are so many people, and everyone walks so fast that I...
Aww. The goat squeaked in terror as she was lifted into the air by the collar of her vest. But the fright soon came to pass as she understood it was simply to be moved towards the giant tree man's shoulder.
Why don't you take a deep breath and hop on up before you get trampled, darling? Come on, I'll give you a lift.
Please, I wouldn't dare impose on a sibling like that. I don't mind being a little lost. I brought enough money to pay for a guide, see?
The goat opened... Ow! You can't do this in a city. The goat opened her brimming purse eagerly, flashing the result of months of work to the crowd around her without a second thought. This is how you get mugged.
You have no idea how lucky you are that I found you first.
Illigrab sucked air through every crevice in his bark, making his mustache wiggle along a pressed smile.
So, the Temple of Irib, right? I was just headed there myself. Oh, what a place! Always a fire to put out for the little brother, like right now. I mean, there will be one going on when we get there. It's a lot less concerning than it sounds.
Oh, right. The Temple of Europe is where Ina and the merchant live. And the merchant is, immortal, kind of. He's a magician, basically, and he can't really die. So, they keep trying to burn him as a witch, and he just keeps not dying. It happens all the time. Don't worry about it.
Zhao will do.
Really? How very fitting for the occasion. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be looking for a job here in the city, Miss Temple. I hear a vacancy's just opened up.
What? Ader's not dead. I mean, is that a spoiler? Nah, he's the main character. He's not dead. With the ibex moving to occupy the space left by Ader, all the pieces but one had been set at last on Heirloom's board. Maybe wise henceforth to return our attention to the man of the hour. Here we go. Oh boy. To fully do so this time, however, we would have to submerge ourselves in all 5 of his senses, for all 6 of them would be important to remember. Taste. Sad. With a tongue drier than the ground above his head and a stomach bereft of all foods as usual. Yeah, he's perpetually starving. Curiously enough by choice for once. Touch. Sadder. Miserable, as it were. Missing the chance of an eternity of mental hedonism that he gave up a couple of hours ago. Yeah, he was getting it good. Now limited only to the feeling of a cold seat under his tail, and a noose still embracing his neck quite uncomfortably. Oh yeah, they tried to hang him, but he's so, like awkwardly large, and, he kept breaking the rope. They hung him, 3 times, and he kept just breaking the rope. It's like, that shitty rope, guys, come on. Smell. Worse yet, constantly clogged up by the persistent yet distant scent of something awful that he wished would just disappear, and a dozen foreign herbs and oils that he wasn't familiar with, burning along the walls to cover it up. Hearing. Worryingly bad. A cacophony of water running constantly in the background, creaking metal and light breathing, coupled with the occasional banging of something against a nearby wall. The sense itself was good enough. Sight. Other than the usual disability he faced in his day-to-day, since he only has one eye. Well, how do I put this? Through many a talk well into the night, Illigrab had done his best to help Ader understand that his experience as a stag in Akazor was a rather fortunate one. Even though his own social standing within the Arcane himself was not the greatest. Yeah, people in this universe care a lot about horn size, and Ader has, tiny, tiny baby horns. He understood, in principle and in matter, that his perspective in life was a very limited one. And he kept discovering the limits of his knowledge with every new friend he made. And they remained friends, because, he was sorry and he got better. Didn't matter how funny and obvious some concepts seemed miles and years before he met them. He knew that words and jokes could hurt others, and he appreciated that his friends would chew him out if he ever forgot and said so-and-so.
So,
There he is, my boy, Adderson, my beloved. He was, however, quite wary of accidentally coming up with any so and so and so that could get him chewed in around this new unfamiliar company of fluffy creatures with glowing eyes, spiky, spiky ears, and spiky, spiky teeth. And there she is. Ooh, and I've not seen my crew before. Hello. Or my ship. I love this. A company that had so kindly seated the terrified stag at the helm of their empty marble table and surrounded him with nothing but rows of peculiarly moist, pearly white smiles. And though, yes, he kind of wished he could travel back in time to 5 minutes ago when he was all nice and unconscious, hoping for swords and not teeth, it was that sixth sense that I mentioned that made him take a hand to his burns and keep his butt glued to the seat, knowing it wasn't just his neck on the menu. Better start making friends. Fast. Oh no, I forgot. Oh no, guys, help. How do we make friends? I don't know. We just established that I don't have a lot of friends. I don't make friends. I like the all caps. I'm Ader! I'm gonna go with it.
I'm Anderson, son of Garfather.
You don't need to scream, pup. I know who you are.
Oh, you do?
That's right. You are a very lucky deer. One of the few grazers to ever board my ship.
Oh, look at her canines. Alive, noted Adder's back brain almost immediately. But that wasn't the bit that truly captured his attention.
Hold on. This is a ship?
Yeah, bruh. As it turned out, the dining table wasn't the only marble piece in the room. Both the matte ground and the radiant slopes that curved into the ceiling seemed as if carved out of a pink-veined pearl, turned deep blue by the darkness and warm yellow by the candlelight. Though such a sight wouldn't have been out of place for the palaces inside Adder's imagination, the air inside was so biting that it seemed bleak night had come early. That's winter. Might have been colder yet if it weren't for all the flames illuminating the room and the rugs. Fur rugs. Not fluffy blankets like those made out of bush feathers or anything, actual hides. Far too long to belong to any type of ruminant Adder was aware of, but a little did that change their effect.
It ain't quite what I expected.
Yeah? It doesn't get much nicer than this, living in the sea. Though, I'd rather be moored just about anywhere else. I'll give you that.
The creature punctuated her complaint with a sharp huff, clearly more bothered by the odd underlying smell than Adder was. Moored, the buck repeated internally. He had no idea what that word meant, but he had a hunch that the vessel wasn't precisely moving. He planted his hooves firmly on the floor, trying to feel the ship rock, letting the beast's growls and the beating on the wall fade into the rhythm of the whispers of running water somewhere below him. Whatever they were, it didn't sound like the sea, and that was everything Adder needed to glimpse the faintest ray of hope.
Well, I don't want to make y'all feel like I don't appreciate the way y'all saved my behind back there, but I got a couple of friends waiting in line to kill me next, so I reckon I should get...
No way! You're really going to leave after all the lengths we've gone to into making you dinner?
There was a brief disconnect between Adder's growling stomach at the mention of food and his brain's best attempts to spell out to him who the main dish would be. His blimp face. His so-called new boss turned toward one of the other creatures and growled something. Unlike Aino's abrupt sounds, hers had a complex and rhythmic quality, an inflection to them that made them feel connected and purposeful. The crewmates soon came back carrying a fruit bowl filled with radishes, Adder ventured, from the chunks of fresh turf roughly carved out of the land with roots and decaying leaves sprouting out of their sides. Delicious. Wait, can I? Nope. Well, I should save. can save. I can't remember how to hide the window. I know it's like a hotkey on the keyboard, but I don't remember which one. I want to see the bowl. As if to finish garnishing the dish, a maggot crawled out of the soil and onto the table, only to get politely pierced by the claws of a crew member and placed on top of the radish again.
I have to admit that we're not exactly well versed in deer diets, but I was told that you were rather fond of roots and tubers.
No, you got that right, man. There ain't nothing in the world my Billy loves more than good old roots and tubers. Mm-hmm.
Good. Eat them.
Oh, I'm eating them all right. I'm eating them even if it's the last thing I do today.
You're still not eating them.
Well, of course not. It's poor manners to eat for the host.
Not where we hail from, pup. In fact, none of us are going to have a single bite until you're done.
Wait, can I use the keyboard for this?
Yeah, no, that's the part that worries me, actually.
I can. The creature sitting right in front of Ader cocked her head to the side in confusion, and then back to follow Ader's line of sight. The row of frothy mouths that waited behind her vanished into whistles and gargles.
Please excuse my crew's manners. We haven't had any fulfilling meal in a while, so they're a little on edge.
Oh, little paw pads. I've never seen them before. Oh. She turned to growl something again, prompting a general whine. A stronger exchange ensued, making the crew around her scutter away between mutters and huffs. Her cape is so cool. I really want to make it.
You have nothing to worry about while I'm around, of course. Perks of being the captain. I get to keep all the best bits for myself.
Well, it sure is reassuring to hear you got a taste for quality food here.
Oh, I can see it now. Oh, it's so nasty looking.
Venison. Because I'm nothing but the scrappiest of scraps. Ha ha!
Only 2 people remained seated around the table, and one just decided to stand up from her chair.
So, are you going to eat your deer food now?
You know what? I think I'll pass. It ain't you. It's the noose, see? Won't let any food through at all. Saved from the paws of justice just to fall into the maws of starvation.
The tension in the room was so thick, you could have sliced it with a knife and thrown it towards Ader's face to hopefully make him shut up. Because if one thing was clear by the proximity of the captain's snarl to his snout, it's that she wasn't going to let that happen on its own. Ooh. The fanged creature yanked Ader towards her by the long end of his noose, intent on dredging every last sound out of him.
You're going to have to try a little harder to fool me, dear. How did you find the way to Heirloom? Who do you work for?
You, apparently? I asked for directions along the way. Is this some sort of trick question?
His makeshift leash couldn't handle a second tug. The edge of her claws cut right through the rope. Before Ader could even blink, he found himself pushed back into his seat, with the creature looming above him, poised to rip every last tendon from his bones.
I know rot when I smell it. I was told we had to make sure a yellow deer would get hanged, not a... What are you, some kind of jackal? Pitiful.
Even though any movement could have brought his death about faster, even though the proximity of those teeth should have curdled his blood and rendered him frozen on the spot.
I don't know where you learned to make your ruminant sounds, Jackal Cub, but they taught you completely wrong.
The sight instead felt so familiar.
I mean, you know, I learned my A's and my R's from my mom and pa, but to be completely square with you, I don't think they ever really got half of what I said either. At least I can blame it on my accent when I'm an heirloom.
I love you, Ader. The creature's ears flicked forward. She glanced around, as if wondering where his fear had gone. and then shrank further back yet, sheathing her teeth behind her lips.
Explain this Monpa to me.
This is my favorite thing about Eka, y'all, is that, like, she's so cool, but she's also kind of dumb.
You know, it's when a deer and a doe love each other very much, and then, you know, they have kids, like parents do. I'm not sure how y'all,
The captain took a long look at Ader as he awkwardly bumped his fists together. Ader, that's not how— you should know how this works, Ader. Peering at him from his blushed face to his jittery hooves, and then back up again. Her nose twitched. Not quite satisfied with the results of whatever it is she's doing, she curled her index finger into her thumb, and then snapped it against Ader's horn.
ouch! Hey, that's not very nice!
With her free hand, she grabbed Ader's mouth and snapped it open. Way past the point anyone's jaw should ever extend. This is making me feel some kind of way. I know, right?
She could be friends with Burbith. Sheesh.
Okay, I take offense to that, though. How dare you? Okay, well, no, I mean, Burbith. No, Burbith.
Fleece my face. Flat teeth! You're an actual deer after all. You're just like half dead or something. Oh, you should have told me, scallophead. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so funny. No wonder you weren't scared. I bet deep down you were all like, oh, this Eka Wolf doesn't even know how litter making works.
I forgot I did that.
Right? Come on, Pop, you can laugh. It was great.
Yeah! That's exactly how I was, 'cause I totally know what any of those words mean!
Yeah, many Kemi. Yeah, I don't know if this is extremely confusing.
Hey, you have to do the thing. Do the thing again.
Which thing would that be now?
The words. Do the funny thing to the words when you speak.
Oh! You mean my accent! It's the darnest thing, ain't it? Chanture's finest! I'd say it's a knee slapper, but if I slapped my knees with these flappers, I may just have to crawl the way back home.
Right? That's not what the other deer looked like. You're so thin I could snap those brittle arms of yours in two with a single bite. What a meager meal you'd be.
A thin trail of drool slid down one of the creature's sharp teeth onto Ader's shoulder. The deer's apple bobbed up and down his arid throat, praying that it wouldn't become the next focus of attention. Kemi, this is illegal. Go to jail! Go to streaming jail right now.
Couldn't agree more, ma'am. There's so little of me left, it's a wonder I'm not see-through yet. I don't suppose anyone's told you about this funny little thing called mange.
Though the creature's expression remained unreadable as Ader listed the many, many reasons why he would not be, in fact, apt for consumption, it was clear that there was a shift of sorts in her general demeanor. She had loosened up somehow. A toothful half-grin decorated her face by the end of his spiel.
And that's why eating venison would lead to the end of your whole species, so please don't kill me.
You're such a weird little deer pup.
As a good thing?
Oh, yeah. I don't need to know many grazers to tell you're a strange one. You make me want to sink my fangs into your neck and bite you open just to know how deep the weirdness runs. But not in an eat-you way. That'd be a waste. Do you get what I mean?
No, not at all. Can't say I do, ma'am.
No, I suppose you wouldn't. Maybe you'd be more than a pile of bones if you did. Hey! That sounds pretty great, doesn't it? Lucky you! I found you a name. From this day forward, and for all cycles to come, you shall be known as Bones.
Afraid I already got my own.
Bones.
Yeah, that's me. Pile of bones. Nice to meet you.
Man, you're a howl. I can see why Aina wanted you to come so much.
Aina? She wanted me here? Hold up. Aina was the one who called you back there then, right? Where is she?
I know, right? The thing is the Eka is, like, so intimidating, and, I mean, like, she is dangerous. Don't get it twisted. But also, she's just, like, a big, dumb stoner. I don't know how else to put it, but she's like your stoner friend. But, like, your dangerous stoner friend, you know what I mean? Actually, it's true. She has this thing where she, like, eats snails. She's, like, addicted to eating snails. And, I can't remember. It's, like, based in real science with, like, some kind of effect it has when, like, dogs eat snails or something. So yeah, she's basically high all the time. And it fucks with her lungs. I did my taxes. Oh, shit. Don't remind me about taxes. I need to do my taxes, and it's gonna be a mess. I told myself I wouldn't do this again this year. Like, I would get my taxes all figured out this year, and now it's suddenly the next year, and guess what? Whoops. It's not as easy as that, because I do freelance work. My taxes are a mess. I have both a regular, like, hourly, paid job, day job, whatever, and also do freelance work at the same time. So, my taxes are a mess.
Don't worry, puppy. You'll be back with my sister before you know it. She's having a little break after our welcoming party, but we still wanted you and Dad in on the family dinner.
Oh my god, no one is gonna get what's going on with this, but it's the funniest shit ever.
Sister? Dad? You mean...
You know, our father.
Becca doesn't really... She says dad, but, like... She doesn't really know what she means when she uses the word dad. So that was Ader. Moving right next to the wolf on the board. A change in management, a rejected turnip, and a planned family reunion. But the boy hadn't arrived at this place alone, of course. Ah, yes. Now to the other side of the ambush. Unbeknownst to him, the intermittent beating noise that he kept hearing somewhere on the other side of the wall was that of two long, crimped horns being rammed desperately against the smallest cracks in the marble. Hi, Sup. Oh, baby, I've missed you. The smooth, pearl-like wall threatened to shatter a soul in a million pieces before its owner could cause any significant damage to the brig where she was being kept.
No! No, it can't end like this! This is not how today was supposed to go! I can't get eaten now of all times! This is not... Get it together, Seb. You're starting to sound like Ader.
What?
I'm going to skin that sidling piece of rotten bracket's tail and wear it as a wig! So, you're trapped in some kind of cell with no way out. Big deal. This is basically your natural habitat.
Oh, oof.
Worst case scenario, you burn this place to the ground, change your name, and go live amongst the goats where guilt can't find you. No, Sep, we talked about this. You can't just burn away all your problems. That only creates more of them. So, you agree we're doomed then? Gods, I don't know why I put up with you. You need help.
Seb slid down the wall until she fell onto her butt, nurturing the terrible headache that she'd brought upon herself.
On that, we agree.
It wasn't easy, but, alas, she finally gave up on her half-hearted attempts at splintering up her horns, and resigned herself to the fact that the only kind of help that she would get was the self variety. The absolute worst. No one left to blame if that one failed. The only light source in the room was the faint glow that seeped in through the same door frame. The same crevice that carried Ader's squawking to her, and the other slew of worrying noises. As her eyes got used to the dimness, the half-light became bright enough to reveal that she was locked in some kind of storage room? Full of armor suits, metal crates, snail cages, the snails, a pile of oddly shaped, amphorae? A hammock and a mop? Oh, it's the point and click segment. This is like a new thing. Ooh. Interesting. Let's look at the mop. Sepp gawked at the tool. It looked like a mop of sorts. It was a mop, surely. Even though it used some sort of tightly compacted fur instead of seaweed fibers, like Akathorian mops. Sepp had heard about mops. She's very privileged. She had even seen servants use them in years where rain had been so extraordinarily bountiful that... Oh my god, Maxie, these words. The... argillaceous grounds of heirloom essentially sweated all the excess water that had leaked out of the lakes and rivers around the city. Maxie, you're killing me. I'm about to bust out a thesaurus. Sepp observed the mop further. She didn't actually know what the purpose of a mop was, but in the brief period that she thought about it, she came up with at least 10 new uses that history had never even considered until that moment. It's a mop, and it's also a hat. Wait. Oh, okay. It's like a kind of urn or something. Or vase. I'm not even familiar with it. Amphorae? Is that how you say that word? Piled in the corner of the brig were very, very reminiscent of the commercial Bazaxaran pottery Sepp had had the chance of reading about in the temple's library. And it's bad when I can say, like, in-universe words better than real words. You know, back when she was still welcome there. The vases definitely looked like they were made to transport liquids. Most likely spirits. Or oil. Probably oil. Oh, the armor! This is what they used in the chase sequence in the last chapter. So they could look like guards. 6, 7... Oh! Which reminds me that I did not catch until super recently that it was Illigrab and Ekar in cahoots, because Illigrab talks about these suits of armor in, like, chapter 2 or something. Like, he gave these suits of armor to Eka, which is like, man, go Illigrab. 6, 7, 8 full armor suits, complete with spears and a mound of detachable antlers piled under them, which is also clever, so they can look like deer or whatever. Sepp wasn't an expert on smithery or armor by any measure, but knowing a thing or two about getting arrested and having wide access to the keep, she was definitely quite knowledgeable on what a city guard's uniform was supposed to look like. Someone had gone to great lengths to make sure the beasts blended in among the rest of the guards when the time come. It was anal. And someone had gone to much greater lengths to make sure that nobody would be looking at them too clearly. What else is around? There's the hammock, I know. Oh, the snails! Then you had the snails, of course. A dozen or so woven snail cages hanging from hooks on the roof or piled up wherever they fit. It was only then that Sepp realized that the nasty little things had bitten through their enclosures and slimed their way through literally every corner.
What? How dare you call them nasty? Snails are the cutest creatures on Nukna!
Snails are cute. On a scale from creepy to wet, the brig was dark, slightly moist, and overrun with snails.
This is disgraceful! Slander! My Sepp loves snails and thinks they're adorable.
Well, Sepp tried very hard not to think about how much she loved sitting on trails of snail slime, and as she mustered her last of her willpower to settle her stomach and continue to search for anything that could help her to break out. There's an image for you. I think the only thing left is... Oh, this is so cool. Oh, look at him. I like that one the most. I think all that's left is the hammock. That's Ana. That's Ana. Hung up rather precariously between two metal crates tilted away from each other, a hammock occupied the right corner of the brig from the door. Sepp didn't dare come any closer, noticing the weight making the fabric sag. Until her eyes got used enough to the darkness in the far end of the room to reveal that its occupant was some sort of extremely spiky cabbage, conspicuously wrapped in blankets. No, go closer. Yes, okay. Upon closer inspection, she realized at last that 'twas no cabbage.
Oh no. What are you doing here?
Sep had no idea what twist of fate had brought them together twice in barely one day, after keeping them away for a whole decade. But the porcelain-skinned Smith lay completely immobile, with her green head curled down and her back turned to Sep. She's taking a little nap. Hey, lurking. That old filthy cape was still attached to her neck. Oh, Ader's cape. I think. Yeah? The blue one?
Weren't you supposed to be in Burbus's palace or something? How could the beasts get you too?
Nothing. Not even the faintest rustle.
Aina, come on! This is no time to sleep. They're going to devour that sweet little apprentice of yours if you don't get up right now and break us out of here!
I wouldn't eat Ader. Well... Nah, I wouldn't eat Ader. I gotta go as soon as I show up. I gotta work 12 hours tomorrow. Ouch! I've been there, and I salute you, and good luck, and I hope it goes quickly and smoothly. Get your rest. And thanks for stopping in. Ignoring favors and requests wasn't exactly what we could call out of character for Aina.
Some all-powerful cursed being you are. Always looking the other way while someone eats your boyfriend.
Sep. Ignoring such provocations, however? With a level of apprehension she rarely felt towards anything in her life, Sep put a hand on Aina's shoulder and turned her whole body around. Oh, she's like in Golem mode or whatever. She's like reset. Damn, I forgot about in this update that Aina got a character, like a bit of a redesign to her model. Aina got ripped. Look at those fucking arms, y'all. Aina's busted. I love it. Love it. Aina's expression remained frozen in complete neutrality. Her eyes were wide open, set far beyond anywhere they could see. Sep drew a hand to her mouth, barely holding back a gasp at the sight. She snapped a finger in front of Aina's eyes, trying to prompt some sort of reaction from her oldest friend. Nothing. It's like how she was when you were a little kid. The gazelle turned around for a moment and took a very, very deep breath.
She's not really deceased. She's not a person, no more than you are. You know this. Aina, I know you're immortal, God's sake. Don't worry. I'll let her something out.
Aina remained completely motionless. There was an empty look in her eyes that no promise would erase. But Sep knew that it could be changed. She had seen it in action a very, very long time ago, and I don't know if this has been explained yet. I know, but I'm not gonna say.
I bet it's his fault somehow. Or mine, perhaps? I did ask you to make sure he wouldn't do anything stupid. Perhaps that's too great an undertaking even for an immortal furry fossil like you.
Sep's eyes narrowed into a line as she pondered her own words.
Was this part of the curse? Will my body and soul turn to stone as well when everyone forgets me? It looks to me like you have somehow managed to have far more friends in exile than I do in misery, Miss Ghost.
Oh, Melody, please, your voice. I can't. It's so good. I love it. The ground rocked slightly under their feet.
All right, let's start there. Ghost. Let us define a ghost as someone who, despite having their connection to the Hatsa completely severed, refuses to die a physical death. Oblivion is an ordinary enough fate for a cruel and unusual punishment.
And Hatsa is basically like, ki, or like life energy, we'll say.
But this cannot be the case, because then you would simply not exist. You would not live in the memories of any creature the way you do, or if you did, you certainly wouldn't last a day. But there is such a thing as ghosts that rise to prominence and have their memories stored collectively.
A presence leaving hoofprints in the snow for travelers, or a cloud in the sky that announces bountiful rain. Small gods.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be exactly dead, in any case. But quite honestly, you don't seem to be alive as far as I can tell. This is lifeless, even for you. But Illigrab said you are not physically capable of dying, be it wounds or old age.
Correct.
So I guess you're just kind of indisposed.
Ana.exe has stopped working. You just need to reboot her. Just fucking do factory reset. Sep nodded to herself, content with her conclusions thus far.
This must, therefore, be an intermittent state. The dichotomy between being lifeless and lifelike, only decided by something that keeps you connected to all of us. Something like a pulse that keeps you active, but that you're not receiving now. A bond tethering you to the Hatsa, surely.
The word golem barged into Sep's mind quite uncomfortably. But she couldn't find any good reasons to kick it out of there. I mean, basically everyone but Ader is like, Ana is a golem. Which I won't confirm or deny, even though I know the truth. None that didn't look like fangs and rippling muscles. I mean, those muscles, though, under Ana's torn-up shirt. And a far scarier possibility that she had something to do with the fact that they were both locked up in some kind of beast den while Ader was still outside.
Suppose it is a physical malfunction. Something must have knocked your connection out of place. This would mean not only can you be hurt, but killed. You just don't realize so. Illigrab would be wrong then.
Damn, Sep, you're a nerd. Sorry, that was mean.
Suppose that it is a matter of the soul instead. Whatever bond has been keeping you alive is failing. That would mean you cannot function without the external source that is providing you the power you require to function. Just like a golem.
Sep fixed her eyes on Ader's oversized scarf. Then on the face that she looked up to as a child. Now more at peace than she'd ever seen her before. Yeah, it's weird seeing Ana not angry. Her face truly looked nothing like the emotionless marble masks that Sep had seen on the doll servants Talid so adored. And yet, not a single breath came out of Ana's nose. Her skin felt cold to the touch, like alabaster. She was obviously gone. Sep slipped her right hand into Ana's shirt. Sep? Following the deep plunging line of her collar, where traditional wisdom would have placed both a heart and a golem's core.
For your sake, I hope I'm wrong, Ana.
Sep's eyes began to glow blue against the darkness of the room.
But I'd better not be, for my own.
So you're saying you're Ana's sister?
That I am.
The patron's daughter?
I could be. Describe the patron.
Red, angry, Ana's father.
Oh, yeah. I am the daughter of the patron, too. I'm sure they'll join us soon enough. You can just ask them if you don't believe me.
No. It ain't like I don't believe you, ma'am. I simply didn't know.
You didn't know what?
Ekka's eyes narrowed into a line. Her neck and snout, on the other hand, seemed to telescope toward Ader.
You have heard the thunder, haven't you, Bones?
Before Ader could damn himself with another word, an orange blur flew into a door, across the room and into the opposite wall, door included. The stunned wolf and deer needed a few more seconds to realize that was Sep on the ground now, looking like a cartwheel attempt gone very wrong. They all turned their heads to the source of the impact. Ana's awake. A trail of smoke zigzagged in from the darkness beyond the newly remodeled threshold, filling the room with the acrid smell of burnt fur and blood. A purple-eyed shadow followed suit. Hi, Ana. The beasts gathered enthusiastically around the doorless brig. and the smith plodding out of it.
Well done, Dad! You managed to fix...
The wolf's joy was cut dead short when she finally noticed Ana's whole body stiffening up at the sight of the rest of the crew.
Oh no, not again.
Ana leapt towards the closest crewmate, biting and walloping whoever had the misfortune of standing in her range. This is Ana. She was a one-woman band, playing an impromptu concerto of barks and whines and all sorts of pained noises.
Sis, be nice! We got your deer back in one piece.
Being well acquainted with this kind of overstimulated Ana starting a brawl situation, but not with the basics of first aid, Ader carefully grabbed Sep's body and dragged it under the table.
Sep, darling, you all right?
That's the last time I do anything for myself ever.
Melody, please.
What happened?
I was right. That happened.
The table cracked and quivered as Ana and the beast exchanged blows and somersaulted over it, threatening to crumble entirely over the ruminants' heads. Now this is a party.
Dad, tell her to quit it!
Ader followed the voice quizzically, wondering if perhaps Pertok had somehow wandered in while he was distracted. But no, there was no trace of the old man. Even Sep looked just as disoriented as he was, though she had a much better excuse.
Dad, I'm talking to you! Do something!
It's like I said, Eka doesn't know what a dad means. The captain snarl peeked over the edge of the table, followed by an arm firmly clamped between Ana's fangs. Sep and Ader exchanged a panicked look. Well, I don't know. I mean... let's, let, I guess, Ader handle it.
Ana, drop it!
Ader's used to this. This is like every other Tuesday for Ader. Ana and her sister both plunged down to the ground, frozen solid. Everyone in the room stood dead still, so as to avoid alerting Ana further. But first of all was the leader of the beasts, who was struggling to form words in any existent language.
It's not that I don't appreciate you stepping in, but I meant my actual father.
Right. Ana's dad.
Yeah, the patron.
Not her,
No, it's fine, pup. I'm not judging or anything. You don't have to put a label on it. I heard your relationship with my sister was special.
The only thing special about this hobble-de-hoy is how specially instructed he is. Ana.
That Pertok impression is on point. Melody. Hey, Angel! It's not Thursday yet, but this dropped today, and I got so excited I wanted to play it. And also, I'm still going to do Yakuza tomorrow. Confused as she was, but not really sure she wanted to know what the hay was going on, Ana opened her jaw unexpectedly obediently. Ugh. Her teeth made the ugliest sound as they separated from her sister's arm, leaving a trail of blood and slobber behind her. Ader felt so queasy he barely managed to fight the need to fall on his butt at the sight. Sep audibly gulped, almost jumping out of her skin when the captain put a hand on her shoulder.
That would be the one.
Eka walked away nonchalantly, like such a gory scene hadn't just happened. Ana's, deadpan face is my mood every day of my life, especially earlier today. That's just me. Ana is me. I'm sad I missed most of this. Oh, I always back up the VODs. No worries, no worries. We're also not going to finish this chapter tonight. No way, no how. We'll still get a bit further, though. Ader eventually managed to fight his nausea long enough to tilt his head back. He only caught a glimpse of Sep's reaction before immediately turning again.
Good thing you haven't eaten today. Dad?
She's got it all wrong. I'm not. I mean, she can't even call me.
Dadder. What wouldn't I have given to see Pertog's face?
Where is Pertog? I mean, I'm guessing he's being burnt at the stake again. But, like, I want Pertog to show up. Like, I want that so badly. I love Pertog. But, yeah, he's busy, I guess.
Want me to fetch you a mirror then, ma'am? Come on, get in character already.
Aina moved her eyes towards her apprentice as she wiped her mouth with her arm. He could only give her his level best, "I'm trying not to die of a heart attack, please play along," shrug in response. Aina took one last look at the room, at Sepp and Ader, and the creatures watching her every move. She seemed severely unimpressed with it all. Yeah. Mood. I get it. Without another sound, she grabbed the door that she had sent flying, walked into the brig, and put the door back in its place, sending a very clear message to her audience. Both ruminants and beasts stayed at the standstill for quite some time before anyone felt safe enough to breathe and move as they usually would. But once they were over that scare, there was nothing in Dakana that could stop the wolves from celebrating. They played music, they clapped, they laughed, smoked some weed, poured unknown drinks into large rusty metal cups. Ooh, rust. Ooh, that they extended to each other. It wasn't quite so easy to cheer, drink, and relax for the significantly less bite-proof deer and gazelle, however. Even so, Ader eventually helped Sepp up from under the table once it finally became obvious that Aina wouldn't chase anyone else. Legs quivering like they could collapse at any moment. Surely noticing their lack of cheering, Aina's sister slithered back to them, carrying a couple of extra mugs meant for her guests that they would never have dared refuse. "No, don't drink it, it's rusty." Ader stuck his nose in his cup exploratorily, but only to get his snout whacked away by Sepp.
That could have gone better, eh? Whoever said a wolf's bark is worse than their bite never met Aina.
No, Aina's a big old sweetheart. If she gives you little nibbles, it just means she likes you. That or her teeth hurt. Maybe she's just bored.
She's teething.
Anyway, trust me, if she'd meant to bite you, you wouldn't have come out alive from that one.
Ader didn't understand the look Sepp was sending in his direction, but it was certainly a look. I love that Sepp face.
To hear she wasn't even trying to kill me then. I guess it runs in the family.
The tall beast raised her cup to take a long sip from her drink. I'm gonna do that too. Giving Ader a good look at the arm that was still completely covered in blood.
Still, you may want to do something about that.
Eka looked up from her mug, finally sparing a quick gander towards the incredibly concerning injury.
Oh yeah, you're right. Someone should do something about this. Well, am I gonna have to lick it clean myself, you peck of sea mutts?
Aw. One of the beasts barked something rather meekly. Aina's sister angrily barked back. The barks derailed into a whole screaming contest once more that kept Sepp's eyes and ears looking surprisingly alert. D lurking for a moment to say every time I hear Aina's, I hear anus. Oh no. Okay, well that's fair, but oh no. Also, hi, Weewa.
You getting any of what they're saying? Any clues why we're here?
I wish, but no. All I can gather is that they speak some sort of guttural, gargled drivel with minced bits of the Zoctet in it. Like every other language I know.
Ooh, burn.
It's not like I'm trying to listen to their words, however.
Oh yeah, y'all are... I remember now. Y'all are gaze readers. Just fucking read their gaze. Read their thoughts. I'm so happy to hear your VA. I'm so happy to share Eka with y'all because I fucking love Eka. I love everybody in this cast. I have a special soft spot for Ader just because he's a big dumbass. I love himbos. But, Eka is very near and dear to my heart, and I'm so happy to share her with you. Sep raised her eyebrows at Ader as she tilted her head towards the pack. Ader mouthed an "oh" as the idea took form in his mind. He squinted his eye dramatically towards the beast, focusing all his intention on their eyes. Yeah, read that gaze. You love himbos? No way, I know, right? Is that so shocking?
Bark, bark. Woof, bark.
Oh.
They were saying something about having you lick her.
Lick her wounds, right?
Ader! Sep glanced quietly at the broken plates on the floor.
She did bring you dinner first.
Sep! Okay, well, to be fair, I mean, you say dinner, but...
You are all meant to be part of the dinner, in fact.
Both Ader and Sep jumped in place. The tall beast seemed none the wiser to their horror.
Do you have any idea how long we've spent preparing for tonight's party, Dad? The great Aina has finally been returned to us after 30 cycles. Nobody could be missing in this reunion. Or at least, nobody that fit inside the ship.
Aw, is that why Illigrab's not here? Yeah,
We'll eat and we'll dance and we'll sing under the stars until we lose our minds. I made sure to gather enough snails for the whole crew. It's gonna be a crazy night. We'll show you grazers what a partying beast looks like.
yeah, eat them snails. Eka grabbed Ader's hands and started whipping them up and down as she dragged him into some sort of improvised dance.
And then we'll take over the city and feast some more. They won't even know what ate them.
Oh, shit! Ader lost grip and accidentally got sent flying against the brick wall. A shuffle in the adjourned room. A single purple eye peeked into the dining room after hearing the commotion and widened upon seeing Ader lying on the ground. The door swung open. Before Aina could rush to his side, however, her sister craned her enormous neck towards him and picked him up by the horns. By his very tiny, tiny horns.
What's wrong? You're smelling a little scared there, pup. It wasn't the brawl, was it? Am I walking too quietly for you? I heard it makes deer nervous, so I brought some clickety boots I can wear while you're here if it helps.
Yes, do it. Wear the clickety boots. Wear them. The tall beast bumped her knuckles together and clicked her tongue, poorly imitating the sound of clopping hooves. Eka's just such a fucking, like, she's such a dumbass as well. Everybody is a dumbass in this game. They are and they aren't. This is a cast of dumbasses. Whoop. Needless to say, Ader remained frozen in shock.
Ooh, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned the feast part. But don't worry, we don't plan on eating all the deer. We'll just eat the bad ones. I hear you have a surplus of those.
Eat the rich! Eat the rich!
How will you know who is who?
Don't worry, Bones. We'll know.
The beast's toothy snout contorted into what surely seemed like a comforting smile to her. She grew tired of the effort soon enough.
How can I get it into the grazers' heads that they're safe and allowed to breathe around us, sis? I don't think our sense of humor is connecting.
The Hayseed night. We're all dumbasses here. Yeah, basically. I'm like trying to think of a single non-dumb... Okay, Illigrab's not a dumbass, actually. I was like, who amongst this cast has a single drop of non-dumbassery? The answer is Illigrab. Aina barely shifted her eyes towards her sister. Now that she'd realized... Oh no, probably Taylid as well. Now that she'd realized the danger in leaving his apprentice alone, the smith had repositioned herself into the corner of the room, closely watching his every move, hackles raised and fists ready to meet whoever attempted to even sniff the air around her. Unbothered by Ina's attempts to look menacing, the tall wolf growled something softly, almost conciliatorily. All she got for her effort was a fierce snarl. Whatever it was that she said, Aina wouldn't have it at all.
So you're still not down for tonight,
The beast's tail swept from side to side.
Bones, come here.
Yes?
I bet my sister is still mad at us because she doesn't understand why she wasn't allowed to fetch you when you were hanging by the neck.
Oh, that'd make two of us.
Yeah.
See, she wanted to jump into the crowd for you, with a lot of knives. Tried to bludgeon one of my poor littermates to death, she did, thinking they were a guard.
The beast pointed towards one of the canines, who let out a whine as they rubbed the back of their bandaged head. Ader didn't need a translation for that one.
Would Aina killing everyone in the plaza and exposing our mission have made you happy?
No?
It's like the best part. I just haven't heard all of these other performances yet, or seen any of these visuals, and they're so good. Y'all did so good.
Right? She didn't need to do anything to begin with. You showed the wits of a fox and fended for yourself as long as you could. And when you couldn't fight alone anymore, dear fox, tell me, who saved you?
You did.
That's right. We did. Our pack.
The wolf pulled away from an increasingly terrified Ader, standing to her full height in the middle of the room, just to twirl around for Aina.
Look at these ear tufts, sis. Look at them. Hear this raspy, dreamy voice. Who else could have a bumpy snout like this? Teeth so sharp, fur so fluffy. Who would dare call you sis over and over?
Aina's frown just turned deeper. She remained unimpressed.
Hey, Bones. Tell her who I am.
You want me to tell her who you are?
Yeah, do it!
That's right. I want you to tell her all about this.
What's the deal with this one, you ask?
Ader.
You've never heard of the Herald of the Storm? The Scourge of Alar? The Fangs of Hector?
Tell her, guys! Tell her!
A deep, tense silence filled the room.
Oh, my crew don't actually speak a word of Sirnar, but thanks for the sentiment. It's Eka!
That Eka?
That Eka!
Which Eka?
Tesseka! The one and only! Two named! The one who'll devour every shore! Oh, okay. Okay, no. We need to bring it down a notch. I don't have the lungs for this anymore.
Fun fact, that's actually what happens when I try to laugh maniacally. I run out of air. The barks started sounding suspiciously like Snickers.
You really have to quit eating raw snails, Captain.
Oh!
Back off, whelp. Don't embarrass me in front of my family.
You know what would be embarrassing? Dropping dead from lungworms.
Not the time, whelp.
Is that really what they're saying? They seem kinda goofy, don't they?
They are goofy.
Goofy? Goofy? Ader, have you heard any of the things she just said?
Of course I heard, and I've seen them too. Who do you think had to wait in a room full of beasts all on his own while you got to hang out with Aina?
Aina kept turning her head between the pack of wolves barking nonsense and the two idiots glaring daggers at each other and mouthing words for no discernible reason.
I'm not going to die from eating a few snails.
I'm just saying, they're a little less scary than I thought they'd be. That's all.
This is very overwhelming for Aina.
So help me, Aderson.
Fine. I guess we can just find ourselves a new Eka when you...
Everyone in the room turned around to look at Aina, who in turn seemed just about ready to start another fight. Everyone except for Eka.
Yeah. I get it now.
With a long, tired sigh, the driving emotion behind which nobody could have even started to decipher, Eka meandered all the way across the room towards her sister, and then kneeled down next to her. All the sea wolves followed her lead, kneeling down alongside her. Eka motioned for them to rise up again. See, they're all dumbasses.
It's not what you expected, is it? Not me, not the ship, not this whole thing. It never is. And the fact that you've been expecting it for so long probably only makes this stink all the more. You of all people would understand, right? The sea is always different. But it's the same sea, after all.
Aina's eyebrows started to crease her forehead. Eka let out a short chuckle, realizing that whatever the metaphor was meant to imply, it really wasn't coming through. Actually, that was a really good metaphor for exactly the situation.
I know we arrived earlier than you wanted us to. I'm sorry we had to drag you here like that. And I'm sorry that you didn't want to see us yet, but I was very excited to see you. You know that much, at least.
Though she hesitated to do so for a moment, Aina finally nodded.
You're very strong. You've been here with Dad for so many cycles now. Cycles that we've spent thinking of you, sharing what we've learned, making our home a better one. And if we braved the shifting seas, it's so your new friends can be free to have a better life as well.
All of a sudden, Eka pulled Aina into a deep hug.
I just want you to know that we're here, Aina. You're not alone anymore.
Aina has no idea what's going on. Aina stared emptily ahead for a few seconds, before finally nodding into the crook of the fluffy neck embracing her. Aww. The wheels of her mind were spinning much faster than they usually did. Too many feelings clashing against each other. Sparks of memories that she couldn't quite recall. But if there was one thing she remembered, it was that she had been so alone. Alone. Because she was alone, wasn't she? Her eyes moved quickly between Ader and her sister, as if asking for permission of some kind. To feel something that she wasn't supposed to feel. What she found in Ader's expression right at that moment, instead, it would haunt her for the rest of time. Right now, however, Eka wouldn't afford her the time to think about it. We're having a moment, Ader. But, I mean, I get it. The thing with Aina is that being immortal, it's like you constantly have to deal with the fact that these people you've made connections with in your life are just gonna die someday, and you're just gonna keep going. It sucks. They touch on that a little bit in the earlier chapters.
I guess this must all be very confusing for the three of you. The short of it is that we've been hiding an heirloom for a couple of weeks now. All hush-hush, as it were.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do remember. Explain a little bit. Basically, like, Illigrab and Pertok know a lot of things that they didn't tell anybody else, so, like, y'all are just gonna have to wait for the next chapter to get all of that.
Like I said, if I wanted our reunion to be this huge party that would knock you off your feet, we'd have to make all sorts of preparations.
No, wait, I think we do explain more of it.
To my surprise, when we got word that not only did the bear men know we were here, he expected us to be fully equipped and ready to attack at a moment's notice.
Yeah, Bear Man, that's Illigrab.
So we got orders to show up today, just to let your little deer helper cry and die and make you all miserable and sad, and I was having none of it. So I figure, hey, you know, who's the boss? I'm the boss. I have the perfect big day present.
Hearing you and Gavin and you streaming is messing with my brain. Yeah, I know. Because, like, Eka plays, like, so much into a lot of... It falls... My Eka voice is very dynamic, but falls a lot into my natural zone a lot, so I'm sure this is very disorienting. But yeah. A curse of sorts. Exactly. This game has a lot... Deals in curses a lot. And it is viewed kind of like a curse. 110%. Like an actual curse.
So, here's your pet and your debrief, sis. The deer's safe, the crew informed, and we only got seen by like 5 grazers. Mission success!
The one high-pitched one. Holy shit, that was good. The whole crew howled in response, which was cut short by a tormented scream. Okay, never mind. I thought that... Okay, far above the riding place. I thought that was one of them that just, like, had a very, different way of howling.
I mean, mission success as long as the deer stays here. It's chaos up there. But don't worry, we'll fix that soon enough.
Ader and Sep shot a desperate look towards each other. They definitely had to do something about this whole fixing fiasco. Ipso facto.
So, about tonight. I mean, sure, you could attack the city today and all, but, well... Oh, never mind. This would surely be talking out of place.
Yes, Pup? What is it?
Well, you see, all that ruckus up there is 'cause I'm real friggin' important. Yep. The guards are losing their minds over me missing.
Are they? Then why did they try to kill you?
Because I'm so important, as I said.
Aina!
I'm kinda, hero. Yep. A mighty one-eyed hero that helps everyone he can. A knight, as we call him here.
I can't get over Aina. Sep hid her face in a hand, trying not to commit a murder on the spot.
But there is glory in acting selflessly for the pack. I don't understand.
Ruminants ain't no pack. We're just bunches of folks getting kicked by the unfair lords that got more power than us. And the deer with power, oh, they felt so threatened by my helping anyone, they put an order out to end my life.
Oh yeah, no worries. That's what we're here for, to eat the rich.
Steal my assets! Eat my food! Separate me from my poor beloved boss before you were boss! Oh, my sweet little Aina!
Oh my god. Ader pretended to cry as he shuffled his knees towards the smith. With the hand that wasn't covering his face, he made a come hither motion so she would understand. That's Maxie, by the way, the dev, the game dev. He provides the voice effects for Aina. It's great.
And now that you and me are both reunited at last, oh, I just hate to see the family divided, to cause the whole mission to crumble to pieces. Because everyone in the city's on the lookout for Aderson, son of Garfath of the Upper Field.
Ader, oh my god.
Aw, is that all? You have nothing to worry about then. We can handle a couple of deer with swords.
Ader tapped Aina's back increasingly fast.
Fine. I guess we can delay the raid a couple of days so you can hang out with your deer. It's not like we had official clearance to do anything yet anyway. But, to make up for it, you have to come partying with us tonight. Or I'm taking a spare rib from your special pet. Does that sound like a good trade?
Aina nodded her head at maximum speed. She ran to give Eka the most hand-crushing handshake Ader had ever seen in his life. Yes, spare rib. Does Ader need some Adderall? Oh my god. Maybe. Maybe. Her hand looked positively tiny next to Eka's, who clearly struggled both to understand the gesture and to keep her paw wrapped around her sister's wrist. Tired of this pantomime, Eka simply pulled Aina into a rib-crushing hug, lifting her right off the ground. Aina didn't murder her on the spot, meaning she was kind of happy about it. Oh, look at her, she's so cute. She doesn't smile like that very often. She's such an angry little cabbage. Look at her!
Hey, boss. Mind if I get a celebration hug, too?
Sure, Bones. Get in here.
Forgot about that.
No, my bad. I meant Aina. You know how it is, boss. Force habit and all.
Oh. I suppose you want some privacy, as you say? I mean, sure, whatever. It's getting pretty early for us. We were thinking about heading off to bed anyway, weren't we?
No one needed a translation for the disheartened growls Eka got from her crew.
So yeah, you two get all the time alone you need in the brig, like your boo-boo's better and stuff. What say you and I catch up in the meantime, Dad?
How dare you propose something so reckless? I will not leave these salacious whippersnappers alone in a room without supervision!
The Pertuck impression. I can't.
Yeah, I thought as much. Well, don't have too much fun without me. Seriously, don't. We're trying to keep it down. Secret mission and all. Good talk. Catch you later.
Eka closed, repositioned, the door after shepherding everybody into the brig. The storage room remained at a standstill until the wolves started barking loudly and partying again in their bedroom. Aina and Ader finally crossed gazes once more. Uncertainty shook her to the core. She couldn't even start to guess what was going through his mind now that they were alone together at last. Oh, before Aina could even start to gesture anything, Ader leapt towards her and nearly tackled her to the ground.
Boss! I really thought I'd never get to see you again. You missed so much stuff. I got hanged 4 times.
Oh, it was 4 times.
Trial, and I could read while I was in the maze, and we won. So Elmo tried to kill me, and please tell me the Beast Pirate lady wrote the note to Barabas, and she got you all confused with a different Aina.
Aina pushed Ader away, way more aggressively than she needed to.
Right, sorry. I know you can't tell me any of that, but you can let me know that much at least, yeah? You never ever seen those folks before?
Aina scratched the back of her hair, looking anywhere but at Ader. She finally shook her head.
Wow, that's convincing.
Aina's lip curled upwards into a snarl.
Oh, what a wonderful row of amazingly sharp teeth. Very ruminant-like. I can't even start to imagine where the confusion came from.
Sep, please.
Aina's teeth are Aina's teeth, and they got nothing to do with anything right now. All that matters is that we're together now, and we're an unstoppable duo. Nay, trio. Brains, bronze, and backbone.
Which one were you again?
I was actually gonna ask the same question.
Listen here, Missy. I don't know where we are, and I don't know what's gonna happen to us. But we may be the last sad chance the city got left in surviving a beast invasion no more. Nothing will stand in our way if we decide to become heroes today.
Why was she pretending to be someone's dad? Oh, I don't know if I can explain it without getting into spoiler things. Sep looks a little bit like Pertok, who is their dad in ways, so Eka got confused, basically. And was like, the red one, that's dad, right? So Sep was just like, play along. I'm definitely Pertok. I'm a grouchy old man. That's me. Eka doesn't, know a lot of things. Like what parents are. Both Sep and Aina turned around to glare at Ader.
Or not. Maybe not. Way to make it about yourself, Ader. What I meant to say is that as long as we ain't dead...
No, you're right. I wasn't thinking straight.
We're all going to die.
Oh.
No, let's not.
I'm going to die. You're going to die. And she's going to bite our tails off when we're not looking. Oh, you're too good to eat me, are you? I'll have you know that I'm delicious, you feral heap of...
I mean, Sep. Have you seen Sep? I bet Sep's delicious. I'm just saying. All the info I have of this game is what I've seen today. Right. I'm only being a bit conservative because I know things beyond what's in the game. So I don't want to say too much because there are things I should not say. But yeah, this game has like a lot of extra lore and terminology, and the world is like pretty developed. So like there's stuff that's like not even in the main game, but if you go to the encyclopedia, it like gives you a lot of context and stuff. So like I get a little confused about being like, what do I know from the game and what do I know outside of the game? that is, like, not public knowledge. So I'm just trying to not step over anything. Which I'm sure if Maxie be watching this later, oh, I'm sorry, Maxie, I'm doing my best. I'm just, yeah, I'm that's the best explanation that I can give. The voices in the other room stop for a second.
Patron, stop! I swear I meant nothing with your daughter.
I say, you're the most useless deer I've seen in my life. Obstreperous venison!
The silence continued for a couple of seconds, and soon the laughter and the cheering started over again.
All right, everyone. I know this is gonna sound real rich coming from me. We gotta calm down.
Yeah, kinda.
Deep breaths. Use them lungs. Come on, boss. You too. Get those chompers over here if you gotta. No one's eating no one. No one's gonna die.
I'm going to die.
In your comfy bed, when you're old and wrinkled, surrounded by a herd of bulky, bumbling stags wearing itty-bitty clothes.
Will you be there?
Aww.
I will. I'll be the one holding up your pastries platter.
I do ship them. They are so cute.
And will you cry?
A whole darn river. Gonna drown everyone in the room. They'll think all that water's what got your tum so round.
Said the deer with the bloated hands. I hate you so much.
Look at that, patron. You sound just like the real deal.
Ader and Sep shared a giggle together as they rested their foreheads against each other like a couple of babies. They're such babies. The peaceful moment wasn't meant to last, of course. A sharp, perforating pain in Ader's forearm reminded him that there was a third person in the room. Aina pointed at Sep, and then at Ader. And she folded her arms as her glare deepened and the drumming of her foot quickened, leaving little room for interpretation.
Right. We're all missing some introductions here, ain't we? Boss, this is Yusuf. Sep, this is Aina. I know you both. And I guess you already knew each other, too.
Yeah, they did already know each other from, like, a long time ago. But Aina didn't know that they were a thing.
Oh, trust me. I'm well aware of who the cabbage head attached to a girl is. But as much as I've tried, she doesn't seem able to return the favor.
Oh, yeah, and Aina doesn't seem to remember Sep from when Sep was a child. Because she was, like, in that weird blank golem state in the flashbacks that we got. So I don't think she was, like, conscious through it all. Aina nodded cautiously under Sep's resigned expression.
Why am I still able to remember, but not you? Does it have something to do with these beasts?
Well, and there's also your curse. If people are away from you for too long, they don't remember you anymore. Ader opened his mouth, only now realizing just how much more he knew than either of them. Oh, right, because Ader's actually been inside Sep's memories. So, like, we saw that entire memory of Sep being a child and Aina being there. And probably more vividly than either of them know. Ooh, should I mention it or no? I don't know. Sep might get mad at me if I talk about it. And I get the feeling that it won't jog Aina's memory either way. Do it? Okay.
Maybe it's because Pertok stole your memories when you were a kid.
Yeah, that's what it was. I forgot that Pertok had something to do. I forgot about the Pertok scene. He definitely fucked with her memories. Oh no, she's gonna be pissed!
That could be a valid explanation if I was struggling with my memories, but she's the one who can't— Wait, what did you just say? He stole my what?
Your memories? 'Cause he wanted you to be free to make your own choices or something?
He what? No, come on, we don't have time for this.
Oh, Sep, I'm sorry, honey. Maybe I shouldn't have. But, you know, that's something that we're just gonna have to deal with later when we find Pertok. Sep took both hands to her temples, trying to still her emotions into something mildly manageable. I would be kind of fucked up, too, if I found out that somebody messed up my memories. Blame me. No, I was super curious. And I had forgotten about that scene where she was a little kid and Pertok was like, "You're really out of control, kid, with the the basically magical abilities that you have and shit, like, you got too much anger and you're way too powerful, and I'm just gonna fuck with your memories, okay? It's for the best. Everybody hates on Pertok, by the way, because he's an asshole all the time to everyone, but they don't, it's not, all I'll say is it's unjustified. Y'all are misplacing your hatred. Pertok has reasons, and Pertok is a badass, and I love him. And all of your hate is misdirected. Justice for Pertok.
If what you're saying is true, I'm sure he would be just as apt at manipulating Aina's memories as he was with mine. He could have chosen to take her memories of my family away, and that is far more distressing than any ancient curse.
Yeah.
Why would he ever do such a thing? What could he hope to gain?
My warlock in D&D, his patron messed with his memories. Oh, no! Wow, what a coincidence. It sucks because it's like, we only ever get to see the patron in this, after the fact, like in present day and all that, and he's just a grouchy, angry old man who is just mean to every single person he meets. And it seems like it's for no reason, but there's a reason. There were intentions behind his actions at a point. But yeah, I mean, now he is just a grumpy old man who can't die. He's just fucking angry all the time. But that's for a reason too.
No, I don't think it was like that.
Yeah, exactly.
He was doing y'all a favor somehow.
Exactly. I mean, it's fucked up because it probably was not his place to do that. You shouldn't fuck with people's memories, man, even if you think you're doing them a favor. But, you know.
He is a merchant three's sake. There must have been something in it for him. There must have been.
Aina turned her head worriedly between Sepp and Ader, unable to fully comprehend the conversation they were having, but perfectly aware of how grave it seemed to be.
Don't worry, boss. We're not really sure what we're talking about either. I mean, we got no way of knowing if someone messed with your memories or not. And we'll figure this out together no matter what.
The look he got told him Aina didn't believe that for 1 second. But it was enough for now.
So what's our next step then?
Huh? Why are you asking me? I'm still on plan duty?
Who do you want me to ask? The double agent?
Aina would have defended herself from the accusation, but she didn't know what that turn of phrase meant.
Right. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather be just about anywhere else in Dock now right now. What do you say we jump ship and let Sleeping Beast party?
Haha, get it? Jump ship? Get it? Because we're on a ship? Do you get it?
I say I'd love to share your optimism, but that's an idea, not a plan. I've already searched the brig from top to bottom. There's no way out from here, and I have no intention to arouse anyone's hunger walking back into the dining room.
3 heads think better than 1, yeah? I'm sure if we just racked our brains a little.
One of Eka's underlings will have time to check up on us while she pretends to be asleep. This is the real world, Adderson. We can't afford ourselves eternal time to come up with inanities.
Why not? Let's go back into your thoughts while we come up with something half smart then.
Wow.
I don't know how I did that. And I don't even know how I could ever hope to do it again, having you around me, constantly trying my pace.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Aina. Your cavillation was cut short by a small explosion of bone-like splinters and the sound of something falling into the water shortly after. Aina is a force of nature.
What the? Boss! Hey! Where are you going? Don't just... And she's gone.
Case in point, we're dead.
Hey, what part of keep it down didn't you understand? Wow. Okay. I'm going to guess the hole in the wall was just made by...
Yeah.
The artist behind Hole in the Brig #1.
Yeah, that tracks. Man, I really thought I was finally getting through to her. Why'd you go and run like that now, huh?
Ader turned a desperate glare towards his patron.
How should I know? She's an unrepentant gobbler, and she never tells us a thing.
It's a mystery.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. We'll just have to go fetch her again. Any excuse is good to make my littermates stretch their legs and sniff every corner of the city. Bones, grab a mop and clean up this mess. And the shell, since you're at it. I want to see it sparkling when I'm back.
Clean a mess and look after your paw. Piece of cake. Aye, Captain.
You what?
I forgot about this.
You got it, ma'am?
She doesn't understand pirate speak, even though she is a pirate.
He thinks I'm his mom. I seriously can't get enough words from you. Hey, tell me about this cake thing when we're back. I want a piece too.
Neither of the two people remaining in the ship dared to breathe again until there was nothing but silence deep into the darkness beyond the gap. It was almost nice like this, really. You just had to forget the sight of the beasts, the constant humidity, and the stomach-churning miasma seeping into the room that made both of them cover their faces and retreat into the dining room immediately. After a few moments trying to breathe in relatively fresh air and not whatever that was, Ader opened his mouth to do more than cough.
She did it on purpose.
Excuse me?
Aina didn't just run away because she felt overwhelmed. She caused a huge distraction for us because she knew the beast would follow her. I'm sure that's it. Oh, how come I didn't get that earlier? She's so clever.
You're giving Aina way too much credit. I mean, maybe that is part of it, but also she just wanted to get the fuck out of here. Sepp gawked at the boy. Words failed her.
You know, Ader, I really feel like this whole ordeal has given me precious insight on how you managed to have such a lovely extra-laboral relationship with your boss.
Is this a game based on D&D sessions? Because it's sounding like my sessions. Not exactly, no. I mean, if Maxie were here, he can tell you what's up. But it's a bit more than that. But I get where you get that notion from, because boy, if I had D&D sessions that are kind of like this too.
It can't be easy having to share half a wit between two people.
Wow.
She managed to solve the beast problem for us, didn't she? There's one more thing that you've done.
Taking a very determined decision not to pay any heed to whatever said next, Ader took a deep breath and ran into the brig. His companion barely dared to peek in. After a few moments rummaging through all the items in the storage room, Ader finally settled for the mop. That is, the stick with the bunch of fur attached to the end that only conceptually resembled a mop, as Akathorians understood them, and rushed right back.
Please tell me that thing is the weapon of our murder-suicide, and you're not about to wipe the floor with it.
I'm trying something here. We could turn to violence if this don't work.
Well, as long as you're open to it.
Ader scurried back out. Sepp observed as the boy leaned out of the new gap left on the wall after Aina's escape, doing his best to avoid breathing in a single puff of air or dragging his neck through the splinters. Oh my god, I just realized what the terrible miasma stink is. Oh no. Remember that very tender beach moment from the last chapter? That wasn't a beach, y'all. That wasn't a beach at all. Once out, he stuck the stick as far as he could down into the space below them.
These ain't exactly what they call shallow waters where I'm from, but I reckon we're both tall enough for them.
Well, I mean, let me just say, when water smells gross... As Ader pulled the bizarre wolf tool, he realized that the water dripping from it was particularly slimy. Ader moved his snout a bit closer to the end of the mop, following a deep-seated instinct to sniff out every unknown particle he stumbled upon. Sepp could only gag from afar. He put the mop down and snorted all the air out of his lungs.
Fancy a guess where they took us?
Before Sepp could reach out to stop him, Ader jumped out of the boat and into the water.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Kinda. But hey, look at it from the bright.
Find me a silver lining, Adderson. Find me one, and I swear that I'm going down there just to show you where you can stick that mop.
I was just gonna say, The water only reaches up to my knees. And anyway, you were the one who said you'd rather take a bath in the sewers than put a finger on me again.
It's called hyperbole. You should know that as you're extremely well versed in it.
Oh, well darn. Thank you.
Ader, that was not a compliment. Defeated by her own pettiness, her limited options, and Ader's lack of vocabulary, Sepp carefully slid herself off the edge of the brig and into the cloudy waters. Sepp stood very still for a minute, no doubt appreciating the way that her boots, pants, and shirt were unable to filter out any water.
I thought you said it only reached up to your knees.
Yeah, he's much taller than you, baby.
Yeah, my knees.
Oh no, I skipped a line. Shit. Ader walked a couple of steps ahead of into the darkness, trying to encourage Sepp to do the same. I love Ader's little fluffy tail. It's so cute. Sepp took a deep breath she promptly regretted, and then a single step forward. Something squeaked under her foot, slithered away, and made Sepp slide on fall on her butt, causing a new splash.
Congratulations, Ader. You finally dragged me down to your level.
Come now. You know this is still a couple of pegs below me. I ain't been avoiding your big bro's generous offers this long for nothing.
Oh, you figured that out.
Oh, yeah. We knew that Taylor was Sepp's brother, but she didn't know that we knew that. Yeah, we should just be carrying her, honestly. But, okay. Ader stretched a hand out towards Sepp, which she took reluctantly, and then he helped her feel her way towards the sidewalk. Which... Actually... Well, hang on. Both Sepp and Ader looked down at the cause of her misstep. Oh, wait, I want to see this. It was a vine as thick as a tree root. A wriggling tree root. Or more like a whole thicket of them? They both followed the sight upwards towards their origin. The ship. I want to see the ship. Bright golden dots flickered over them like a constellation. A congregation of fungi, most likely. Oh man, after The Last of Us, I don't want to hear about fungi. Ooh. Which, by the way, The Last of Us is so fucking good. Y'all, wow. What amazing television. I'm still not over the last episode. Every time I think about it, I start to cry. Anyways, this was not the moment to leave a single possibility up to chance. Ah! Another pair of radiant spheres joined in the scene, this time right beside Ader. The sky blue eyes shining in the dark nearly gave him cardiac arrest, familiar as they were.
Quiet.
Oh, right. An orange glow followed after, radiating from Sepp's palms. The light grew in intensity until it seemed like a torch pointed directly at the heights they just jumped from. That was no ship. Aina had somehow managed to punch through a gigantic snail's oval shell, reinforced with some kind of reddish metal on the outside, and bedecked with cages, grills, and flags. Hundreds of slithering vine-like appendages spread out from the depths of the shell, blocking the sewage tunnel behind it.
What?
It's a snail, y'all!
What is that?
I don't know, but I guess we ain't going that way.
Ah! I love it! As if sensing an ill will of some kind, or perhaps just attracted to the light, the cluster of eyes turned toward the couple of escapees. Sepp and Ader found themselves frozen at the sight. Yeah, fire and sewer is bad. This is not a good idea, Sepp. The living ship started crawling towards them, vines bunched up like little feet soaking what little water they could find to propel itself through the tunnel. First awkwardly and heavily, and then faster, faster, faster. Now it was inches away, giving them a clear sight of its hoofed mouth. The creature threw its vines back, launching itself towards the ruminants, only to have its momentum cut dead short, stopped by the two thick metal anchors tying it in place. Their story may have very well ended here if it managed to advance just a couple of paces further. No matter how it lashed its vines around, trying to reach the deer and the gazelle, its efforts were in vain. Ader had already lifted Sepp onto his arms and started running downstream, much further than the snail could ever hope to reach them. They rushed away, praying to every god above that that creature wouldn't even think to give them chase again. Well, it can't. Okay. This is where I have to save, because I have to go to bed. And I knew I wasn't going to finish the whole chapter tonight. There's still so much more. I mean, there are some very steamy scenes ahead, and there's some very intense action and deep introspective moments. There's a lot. And I can't wait to see it. I promised Jeremy that we will do Yakuza tomorrow, but I'm probably gonna do a bunch of extra streams of this. Oh man, I have to work overtime this weekend, so I work Saturday. But maybe Sunday. We could do a Sunday stream, I think, during the day. Yeah, I might be able to make that work. Or if if my voice isn't too worn out after session on Monday, then Monday might work. My voice might be too tired by then, though. Sunday, though, if I do it early in the day and give it enough, so I can give my voice. I do have a session Monday, so I have to make sure to give my voice enough rest. We could probably make that work. Or Saturday night. I mean, I do work Saturday, but my hours on Saturday are a little shorter than during the week, so keep an eye on Twitter. I might even do both, who knows, because I don't think I'm actually even close to the halfway mark. I may be a quarter to a third. No, I think maybe a quarter of the way done. So we will see. Just know for sure that tomorrow night I'll be back with Jeremy for more Yakuza. And then we'll see about the rest of the week. Keep an eye on Twitter, keep an eye on Discord, and I will let y'all know. And thank y'all for being here, and I'm so happy to see all of this come together. Everybody did an amazing job. I'm going to... Don't leave yet, by the way, because I'm going to give away a copy of this game. If y'all want. Hang on. Save. Credits. I want to go ahead and pull up the credits too, just because everybody did such a good job. And I'm freaking out about it. Like Stan, please, Stan. And Melody. So good. Like everybody is so good. I can't. I forgot Tom was in this. Man, I love Tom. Tom's good people.